That 9mm sitting in your safe right now? There's a real chance it's on this list. 10 pistols with big reputations that are quietly burning their owners with lousy triggers, spotty reliability, and price tags that don't match the performance. Some of these brands spend millions selling you the dream. But on the range, the reality is a nightmare. And number one, it's going to split this audience right down the middle. So buckle in, because the comment section is about to light up. Here are the 6 dumbest 9mm pistols people are still buying in 2025. Number 6. SCCY CPX2. Every gun shop has that budget case, the one where first-time buyers get hooked by flashy looks and a low price tag. And right in the middle of that case, SCCY CPX2. New shooters walk in with $300. They walk out thinking they scored a tactical bargain. The disappointment doesn't show until the first trip to the range. The trigger feels like dragging a boat anchor through mud. It's heavy, gritty, and leaves your finger smoked after one magazine. Then come the light strikes. Instead of a clean bang, you get a click. And a whole lot of frustration. Mags bind up more than they should, and the overall build feels slapped together on a bad day. Yes, the company brags about a lifetime warranty, but you'll use it so often that shipping costs alone will start eating your wallet. Instead of practicing, you'll be waiting on repairs that never should have been needed in the first place. Price, usually under $300. Alternative. Believe it or not, the Hi-Point YC9 actually runs better for about the same money. Sure, it looks like it came out of a B movie, but at least it fires every time you pull the trigger. And when your life is on the line, that's what counts. Speaking of bad budget buys, wait until you hear about number 9. Number 5. Ruger American Pistol. Ruger looked at the striker-fired market and decided to take a swing. What they built was the American pistol. And the result feels like it was designed by people who don't actually shoot. The trigger has more stages than a rocket launch. It starts mushy, drags through a spongy wall, and finally snaps like a wet stick. The grip angle? It's like wrapping your hand around a 2x4. The pistol doesn't point naturally for most shooters used to modern ergonomics. Reliability issues show up with certain hollow points. The feed ramp geometry just wasn't right from the start. Even Ruger dealers quietly steer customers toward other options because they know this one missed the mark. Ruger hyped up modularity. In reality, the options were thin, and holster fit was a nightmare. The mag release feels vague. The slide stop sometimes refuses to lock back, and build quality jumps all over the place depending on which sample you get. Some shoot fine, others can't hold accuracy worth a dime. Price, usually around $450. Alternative, Ruger's own Security 9 does it better, for less. Cleaner trigger. Solid reliability. And a design that actually makes sense in the real world. At least Ruger learned from this mistake, unlike Smith & Wesson, with number 7. Number 4. Bersa Thunder 9. Bersa earned its name by cranking out budget .380 ACP pistols that worked well enough for concealed carry, so the company figured, why not scale it up to 9mm? On paper, that sounds fine. In reality, the Thunder 9 shows exactly why small gun success doesn't always translate to duty-size performance. The double-action trigger pull is brutal. We're talking the kind of pressure you'd use to crank open a stubborn pickle jar. Under stress, when accuracy matters most, that heavy first pull makes precision nearly impossible. Then there's the weight. It's heavier than modern alternatives, yet it carries fewer rounds. So you get all the bulk, with none of the benefits that justify a full-size gun. Repair support is another headache. Parts availability depends on unpredictable import schedules, which change with politics and supply chains. If something breaks, you're waiting months, not days, for a fix. The design itself feels like it was frozen in the Clinton era, trying to play catch-up with today's engineering. The double-action to single-action transition is steep. Most shooters struggle because the first pull and the follow-up shots feel like two entirely different pistols. Magazine springs wear out faster than they should. Replacements cost more than you'd expect for an import. And overall, you're left with a pistol that demands more effort than it's worth. Price, about $450. Alternative: a used Glock 19 runs the same money. Better parts support, lighter weight, simpler manual of arms, and higher resale value when you move on to something else. Speaking of pistols that try to play it safe and end up outdated, let's move to number 3. Number 3. Glock 19, Generation 3. I know, criticizing the Glock 19 is sacrilege in some gun circles. But let's be honest, paying full price for Generation 3 tech in 2025 is like buying a flip phone just because it lasts a week on one charge. Front slide serrations? Nowhere to be found. Even budget pistols come standard with them today. That makes press checks clumsy and clearing malfunctions under stress more difficult than it should be. Factory sights? Plastic. They deform with normal use, and most shooters toss them in the trash after their first range session. The grip texture feels inconsistent, either like holding a slick bowling ball or a block of sandpaper depending on the run. And ergonomics in general. They're stuck in the 1980s. Want to mount an optic? No factory cut. You'll pay for machining that should already be there. The trigger? Feels like dragging rubber bands across gravel. So most owners start shopping for upgrades before they even leave the gun store parking lot. By the time you add night sights, a decent trigger, stippling, and an optic cut, you've sunk over $1,000 into a $500 gun. And at the end of the day, it still runs like outdated tech. Sure, Glock parts availability is unmatched, but that's because you'll end up swapping half the pistol just to get it competitive. Price, usually around $500. Alternative: the Walther PDP costs less. Comes optics ready out of the box. Has front serrations. A factory trigger that beats Glock without modification. And ergonomics designed for this century, not the last. If you think overpaying $500 for old tech stings, just wait until you see the $1,000 letdown coming up next. Number 2. Heckler and Koch USP 9. Few pistols announce, "I overspent on German engineering," louder than the Heckler and Koch USP 9. It sits in safes across America, collecting dust while owners carry something lighter, simpler, and more effective. This gun runs north of $1,000, and what you're paying for is technology that peaked back when dial-up internet was cutting edge, and everyone thought Y2K might shut down civilization. The ergonomics? Think brick with a trigger. It feels like it was designed by someone who never actually wrapped their hand around a pistol. On top of that, the high-bore axis exaggerates muzzle flip. So follow-up shots take longer, and accuracy suffers. The double-action trigger? Imagine a rusty office stapler that's been sitting in a garage for 2 decades with no oil. That's the pull you get. Magazines cost $50 a piece. Meanwhile, competitors sell theirs for $20. And even basic replacement parts mean coughing up premium money for items that should be routine maintenance. The safety and decocker controls look good on paper. In practice, they're so complicated that you'd need a degree in German mechanical engineering to run them cleanly under stress. Mounting modern optics? That upgrade alone can cost more than buying an entirely new pistol from another brand. The die-hard Heckler and Koch crowd will defend it with religious zeal. But deep down, many wish they'd bought something else, something that works better for the same money. Overall, the USP 9 feels overbuilt for civilian use. Heavy, complex, and burdened with quirks that don't translate into real-world defensive benefits. Price: typically over $1,000. Question: at what point did spending $1,000 on 1990s engineering become a smart move? Number 1. SIG Sauer P320. And now, the most controversial spot on this entire list. The SIG P320. This pistol has legions of fans, massive military adoption, and loyalty so strong it borders on a tactical religion. But here's the flip side. It also carries more documented safety problems than any other modern duty pistol still sold to the public today. The trouble started in 2017. That's when videos surfaced showing P320s discharging when dropped at certain angles. The Dallas Police Department immediately suspended use, citing safety hazards. From there, lawsuits piled up, reports rolled in, and while SIG worked on updates, the stigma stuck. For a pistol pitched as the future of service handguns, its track record on safety became the elephant in the room. None of this changes the fact that it remains wildly popular. But popularity doesn't erase reality. And that reality is, the P320 has earned a place on this list not because of hype, but because of its history. Price, usually around $600. These 6 pistols drive home one lesson. Popularity doesn't equal performance, and a high price tag doesn't guarantee quality. I already know the comments are about to turn into a war zone. Some folks will defend their choices to the last breath. Others will nod their heads in agreement. But at the end of the day, facts outweigh feelings. So if this breakdown opened your eyes, hit that like button. If you think I'm off base, drop a dislike and tell me why. And don't forget subscribe for more hard truths about guns, gear, and the industry that sells them. Until next time, shoot straight, stay sharp, and buy smart. Like, subscribe, comment,